Hey guys, it's Miss Christy. I'm so glad that you took time today to listen to our Bible lesson this week. We miss you guys so much and we can't wait to see you again and give you Sunday morning hugs. So we're going to go right into our lesson today. It is coming from the book of Exodus, which is in the Old Testament. It's only the second book of the Bible, so it's super easy for you to find. So if you have your Bible, go ahead and turn to Exodus 1. And we're going to kind of go from the very beginning on that. Our lesson is going to be on Moses today. So to start from the beginning with him, you guys know, I'm sure you remember, he is the one that his mom put him in a basket and took him down the Nile to save him from the Pharaoh, which is the king of Egypt. He wasn't a very nice guy. So to save him, his mom put him in a river and sent him down on his way. Well, as luck would have it, his basket came to the princess of Egypt, and she saw him crying and wanted to take care of him, so she took him in and saved him. And isn't it funny how God kind of made that work for him? So his sister watched him float down the river and made sure that he was safe. When the princess picked him up, his sister jumped right up and said, "I know someone that could take really good care of him for you." And the princess said, "Go ahead, great, go get her." So his sister went and got their mother and brought her to the palace, and his mom was actually able to take care of him and raise him and teach him all the things about God and about where he came from. So that was wonderful how God made that happen. So fast forward a little bit, he grew up in Egypt, so he knew about all the Egyptians, and he had his mother teaching him about how the Hebrew people and the Israelites grew up, and so he knew a little bit about both worlds. So one day he went outside and he realized that, the Egyptians were not treating the Israelites very well. They had them do a whole lot of hard work. They were having to build these things and move heavy bricks and boulders, and they were out in the sun all day long. They worked all the time, and they didn't have very much food to eat. And that hurt him. So he went outside one day and he saw one Egyptian soldier in particular just really hurting this Israelite man, and he just couldn't take it anymore. So he stepped in and he told the Egyptian soldier to leave him alone. And so he backed up and he stopped that from happening. Well, the Egyptians didn't really like that very much. Because they were used to making the Hebrews do what they wanted. So the Egyptians got really mad at Moses. Moses knew that the prince of Egypt, the Pharaoh, would not be happy with what he had just done. So he ran away. And he ran away to a land, and he came upon some shepherds, and he helped them out, and they said, "You know what, come back and meet my dad." And they took him back, and he met this wonderful family that took him in, and he married someone, and he had kids, and he had this brand new life that God had given him. And he was a shepherd for many, many years. And one day he was leading his flock of sheep to a different area, and he looked up at this mountain, and he saw this bright light up in this mountain, and he couldn't figure out what it was. So he said, "I better take a look at this. This is a little odd." So he walked up the mountain, and he came across this bush that was on fire. Just this random bush that was on fire. But it wasn't burning. The leaves were fine, and the twigs on it were fine. They weren't burning, but yet it was on fire. So he came a little closer, and he heard a voice coming from the bush, and it said, "Moses, Moses." Moses, this is the voice of God. And he got a little closer, and God spoke to him from the bush and he said, "No, stop right there. Take your sandals off because you're in a very special, holy place." So he took his sandals off and he just couldn't believe it. And he said, I'm here. And God told him, "Moses, I've heard my people's cry. The Israelites that were hurting, that were being hurt by the Egyptians, they had been praying out to God to save them." And he told Moses, "I have heard them. I know the pain that they're going through. And I want you to go and tell them that I will get them out of there. I will save them. And I will take them to a beautiful land flowing with milk and honey. And it's going to be okay." And Moses just, "Me? You want me to go do that? Who am I to go and tell these people what you have said?" And God told him, "Moses, I made you. I made you. And this is what I need you to do." And Moses still, he said, "But God, I can't, I don't understand. They don't like me. You know, I'm scared. I don't want to go and do this. I'm worried." And God said, "Moses, it's not going to be easy. I know that, but I'm going to be with you the whole way." And Moses still was, he just couldn't believe it. He said, "But God, I don't talk very good. I talk really slow." He had something called a stutter. If you don't know what that is, it makes it very difficult for someone to speak. It's very hard for them to get words out, and it takes them a really long time to say even one word. Could you imagine sitting there having to listen to somebody and it takes them forever to say what it is they're trying to say? They probably wouldn't want to listen to them. And Moses was really worried about that. So he told God, I can't speak to them. What am I going to do? And God said, "Go get your brother Aaron. Aaron is a very good speaker, and I know that. Take him with you, and I will give you the words to speak. You will tell Aaron what to say, and he will say it to the people. And I will be with you every step of the way." Moses, after all of this, he still couldn't believe it, but he certainly was not going to not obey God. So, with the comfort of knowing that his brother was going to be with him, God had promised that he was going to stay with him, and he knew God keeps his promises. He said, "Okay." So God told him, go now. So off he went to prepare to go tell the Israelites, not just the Israelites, but the mean Pharaoh too, that he was going to have to let those people go. And it wasn't going to be easy, but he knew that he was going to have God on his side, and he would go with them the whole way. So that's an awesome lesson for us to have this week. It's absolutely amazing. God he doesn't change. He's the same. He is the same God that is going to deliver the Israelites. We're going to talk about that next week. It's going to be awesome to see how he did that, how he protected Moses in the same way that he protects us still to this day. So let's always remember that. And I'm so glad that you guys came today for your lesson, and we will have that for you next week also, and we'll tell you all about Moses and what God did to save his people. We'll see you next time.